everybody, Carolina Gun Guy. I'm out at the range today, and today we're taking a look at the 9mm Interceptor rounds from Ballistic Machinist. You may remember Ballistic Machinist. I've done a few videos in the past. They put out some interesting 12-gauge shotgun stuff. The 357 Defender, the steel dumbbell, and they have another one. It's a brass slug that I don't have with me right now. But now they're getting into the personal defense side of things, and they've come out with this 9mm Interceptor. This is the first in a planned line of 9mm and 10mm rounds, and the first one is this 90 grain. It's got a machined copper, all copper projectile, and it's going to open up pretty wide once it hits its target. So we're going to put it through a few mediums today and see how it does, kind of take a look at it and see what kind of results we get from it. This should be a fun day. Let's go. I'm going to be using a Palmetto State Armory dagger for all the testing today with a Magpul magazine. I've got it loaded up with 2 rounds. The first thing I'm going to do is shoot into some water so we can find the projectile and see how it looks after it has gone through the water. So I see one projectile right there. I'm probably going to have to dig around and see if I can find the other one, but this is the perfect example of what it is supposed to do. It opens up like a nice star. You get over an inch of expansion. I'll do a little overlay here on the screen so you can see exactly how much expansion you get. But there we go. Let me see if I can find that other projectile real quick. Here we go. So we know what it looks like going through water. You get that nice star pattern. Let's go ahead and put it through a couple other mediums and see how it comes out. So next we're going to try some drywall. I have 13 panels set up with some water behind it and a steel plate as a fail-safe. Hopefully I can find that projectile after we go through, but let's see how this does. Okay, the water is leaking, so it went through all 13 panels. Came in kind of low, and I think the projectile is in there. But let's take a look at some of these panels and see how it did. Let's see, let's go about halfway down. Looks like it's starting to tumble, actually, as opposed to opening up. So when I hit the drywall, it seems like it's tumbling and not fully expanding. But let's go ahead and empty this water here and find that projectile. Here is the projectile. It actually stayed almost completely intact. The one petal started to kind of branch out there. It's got some crud down in the middle of it, but it did not open completely. It stayed intact. It kept its energy as it went through 13 panels of drywall and then into the water. Let's do something else. Campaign signs. Now to clarify, I have nothing against Ted Budd. Ted, if you're watching, I'm sorry. I have a bunch of these signs available though, so I have 30 of them lined up. These signs are that corrugated plastic, so I doubt it will actually have much of an effect, if anything, on the projectile. But we're going to shoot it through and see if it opens up. If it stays intact, we're going to find out what happens to that projectile. Looks like it actually went all the way through and hit my little backstop there, my steel level 3 armor. So I'm going to have to look around for that projectile and see if I can find it. So I could not find the projectile. I'm going to shoot it one more time, this time with more water behind it to stop it. Well, I heard it come off that plate. I heard the little ting, so... Okay, I would love to tell you I found that projectile, but I can't. It actually hit off the little corner of the plate right here, put a hole in the table, and I can't find it anywhere. Let's move on to something else. Okay, next we're going to take a look at how it does through wood. I have a nice little piece of pine up front and then some plywood behind it, and then the water to catch it if I can find that projectile. So it made it through 1, 2, 3, 4. You can see the hole there. And then on number 5, it put an indentation and bounced off. Let me see if I can find the projectile. So for the most part, going through the wood, it kept its shape. Instead of opening up, it kind of collapsed in on itself, and it was able to keep its momentum as it went through the wood. Let me go ahead and do that one more time. This time I'll put a bottle of water right before that one so we can hopefully catch the projectile. Okay, let's go investigate. This time, it had enough energy to punch right through the water and right through the wood. And then it bounced off the next one right there. So I have to hunt down that projectile once again. So here it is. The most recent one is on the left. Same result as the other time. When it goes through a hard object like wood, instead of opening up, it'll collapse in on itself, and that will allow it to keep its momentum and keep its energy as it goes through its objects. Let's go ahead and test it on something else. Well, out of nowhere, it's decided to start sleeting on me, but the show must go on. I'm going to shoot this level 3 plate from AR-500 armor a few times, and we're going to take a look at the projectiles after it hits a really hard object like level 3 steel. So obviously the 9mm has little to no effect on level 3 armor. I was able to find one of the projectiles, and there it is. Like I said earlier, it's pure copper. So it hit the steel and it just got pulverized, and that's what it looks like. The final thing I want to do is test it as personal defense ammo. How does it run? I'm going to put 10 rounds up. I'm going to mag dump it and see if there's any kind of jams or anything like that. Let's go ahead and find out. Okay, here we go. I have it loaded up with 10 rounds. Let's see how it does. Perfect. So there we go, the 9mm Interceptor from Ballistic Machinist. I'll pause here for a second so you can look at the specs. But if you're hitting something hard or something with mass like drywall or wood, it's going to keep its shape. It's going to allow the energy to stay with it, and it'll go right through to where you need it. If you hit something soft like water, or I'm assuming ballistic gel because I've seen the videos, I don't have any ballistic gel myself, but it opens up like a star and it gives you over an inch of expansion. And then if you hit something really hard, well, it just kind of dies. But there you go. Those are the results. That's what you get with the Ballistic Machinist 9mm Interceptor. These are a great idea to have in your gun in case you need it for any kind of personal defense. You can go find these on, I think it's Detroit Ammo is the where you can buy these. So go ahead and take a look at them. You can find more videos on channels like 704 Tactical, Tower Flater Mouse. They all have stuff on these rounds. And with Ballistic Machinist in general, Tim over at Ballistic Machinist has been doing a lot of good work, as I mentioned earlier. The steel dumbbells and the 357 Defender slugs are from him. But there you go. Personal defense side, keep an eye out. They do have more planned in the line. I know they have different weights that are going to be coming out. I believe, like I said earlier, there's a 10mm. So there you go. Guys, thanks for watching. Take care, and God bless.